kick's kind of happening a little bit. There's no real open play. It's just kick,
Yeah,
kick 2 or 3 times.
but you want to stay.
You need to be working
You want to
and
stay
running.
on side, where the kicking team can be on side, like that line.
So, yeah, so okay, so you're talking these areas, 10 meters back, you mean? Is that what you're saying, Scott? Or
Well, I'm saying if red team kicks it,
yeah.
I'm gonna stay with the player keeping them on side.
So if red, let me draw that out of there.
So assume that you're infield on Bruce's diagram.
So there's my scrum.
Mhm.
Here's red, and red's trying to kick for this corner and does that.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's a red player here following.
Yeah.
So you're saying you'd be maybe here, referee, let's say. So you're saying as he goes forward, that you're keeping kind of in line with him. Okay? Fair
That's what
enough?
I've been doing, yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to argue
Yeah.
with you. Fair enough. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
What about coming infield and going upfield to a midpoint? And trying into there,
Into
and
this
they're trying to
direction.
read, because the objective of holding these players back here is to give the team that's catching the ball the right to counterattack. That's what the game's made of, isn't it? So you're going to try and read. He's either going to kick it back, and you don't want to be going back 40 yards, and then back another 40 yards, back another 40 yards. Let the ball do the travelling. You just get in a position where you can see the widest range of the ground. That's what I would suggest.
Absolutely. So if we think of that situation, red, taken, red line has come up, kick's going back, we need to take referee in green, a kind of triangular type position. So that you can see, as Keith said, that's your viewpoint, and you're still moving, but you're getting as wide a view as possible, including this way, if you need to.
So we don't really want to run
You
the
don't wanna
receiver so
run
much, yeah.
to where the ball's being kicked to.
Yeah.
You're trying to get away
Big
the
open
situation a
advantage,
little
sure.
bit and open up to see
Perspective.
as much of the field as possible, whilst you're still going through the same processes of keeping people on side, stopping them from going forward, maintaining that space. So don't think straight lines.
The other advantage of coming into this sort of more of a midfield position is that you can see if there are other support players going back to the kicker. And if the kicker's got support players, he's obviously going to size it up and then spring it, isn't he? If there's no support players, you can say, well, it's probably going to be a kick. He'll either run himself or he'll then kick. But by being in here, you've got a beautiful wide open view, and you can see all the play that's likely to evolve through, which is really what you want to do.
And you'll still move,
Yeah.
but you won't have to move as far.
No.
And you'll get a bigger view of things. Because oftentimes the only guy running is who?
Right.
You.
Mhm.
So why friggin' go 40-40? You won't. It's not, you can't do it. Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. You practice for the big test. Right? Scott, you understand where I'm coming
Yep,
from
yep,
there?
for sure.
So
Yeah.
early on in your career, that's fair.
Yep.
So now we're thinking,
And I think
come wider.
I was probably doing a little bit of a combination of both. I was staying on with the defensive line, but in the middle of the field and not chasing the
Right.
ball for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So, if you get a couple of 3 kicks, and maybe enough black guys here have come back, they can go, and you've maintained the space. The next breakdown might be over here somewhere, and you'll definitely be the third person to get there.
And from that point, you can monitor the guys who are going forward
You
with the
can
kick.
do everything.
To give them, because your priority is to give the black guys there all the space that they can. That's the modern game. That's the way they want to play it. And that's one good piece of refereeing that's occurred in the last 18 months.
We've been pretty good with
Yeah.
keeping space.
Yeah, they're
Fair
very good.
play. It's just now where you're moving to think ahead as to what may or may not happen for your own sake as well. Okay?
Sometimes you want the guy to kick the bloody ball out rather than have to keep running. They start tackling and going across the field. Because a lot of teams are using, they're getting from one side of the field to the other with 3 passes. So you've got to put the clappers on because it gets out to the wing. He's off to the races, isn't he?
And even some teams now are effectively kicking to the wing.
Yes. Yes.
The last couple of premier
Yeah.
games I've touched, you see the kicking, think, holy shit, he's got
Yeah.
it. And you're already 2 steps behind him.
Yeah. even a first of games, actually 2 first of games where I've seen 2 or 3 kicks and guys are waiting before they look to counter attack or kick or whatever they're going to do. They'll wait for the defence to come up, and that space behind it, wide from there, is where they've kicked to. So if you have done this, you are now a long way from where you're going to be next. They've waited, a couple of kicks, they've kicked wide to this guy to chase, well actually one of them was a women's game, to chase onto, which was it's good thinking on their part. Very good. That was the 3 things from me, Dave, that to summarise kind of the last month of coaching reports that we wanted to touch on, and obviously Johnny and I had spoken a little bit through in a way, so yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce. No worries. Has anybody got anything else they want to put on the floor at this point? Rob?
I got with the assistant tackler there. Like I've noticed a lot of the times, the one guy's tackling. The first thing this guy is doing is going for the ball. Like, and a lot of them have bitched to me about it. Like, I was grabbed the ball before he went down. Now that's.
So he's contesting the ball.
He's contesting the ball while the guy before he's
Yeah.
actually been tackled.
Yeah.
And this is where.
Space. You must give space.
So even though before
Yeah.
he's been tackled,
Yes.
he's going for the ball,
Yes.
and then he goes down. But so he
Must.
still has to release
There
it.
has been a tackle.
Yeah.
I was in contact with the tackle ball. Play the ball. So that you thinking for yourself, maybe, and that's not saying you should, but maybe think if you say play the ball, it's the tackle player. If it's release, throw a colour in, it's the guy who's on their feet. Or the tackler who went down and is still holding on.
Yeah, and that's easy,
Right.
if it's a tackler on the
Right.
ground. It's that,
So don't go release for the guy who has the ball in their possession.
Yeah,
Get
play
them
it.
to play it.
Yeah. And again, as I said about the the defending, the low body position, sometimes there are 2-man tackles.
Yes.
So you're actually getting 3 people at your point of contact.
Yeah.
You've got the ball carrier, and you've got 2 opponents who are going barreling straight out,
Yeah.
and they're hitting hard. They really are.
Obviously.
When you said people having a go at the ball, and you're
Yeah.
use that motion, usually by the time they've hit it once, if somebody else is downed over them, it's a rock or a maul, and keep your hands off it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? So you just have to, you see people trying to go with a second dab and a third dab, and you go, but I'm allowed to play it.
Once.
I'm talking about more. I'm finding with some like skilled players, an open field one-on-one tackle.
Yes.
Where it's like there's time there, and he's pulling him down and not giving time
Right.
for
Yeah.
him to play the
Fair
ball.
enough.
Even time for that tackled player to just throw the ball if he wants
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that, yeah. But I know what you mean. Where usually by that time the guy's coming over, right?
Okay.
There's one thing that I've seen in the last 3 games I've AR'd for the Premier, is still the pillars being set up and being allowed. And when I describe pillar to me,
and a line out or a kick or something?
No,
It's right back
Rough
foot.
one. Rough one.
All right.
here's the ruck going in that direction, and it's held up, and there's guys standing out here, they're not standing behind the back foot, they're doing this. So it's if the ball comes out here, both sides are obstructed.
Yeah, they can't.
But I'm seeing referees at the senior level
Yes.
doing the elite games that are not doing anything about that. And when I do something about it at a lower level, I get that thrown back at me. Well, why are you doing it if they're not?
And I guess as ARs, maybe that's a good thing, hey, you know, we should be
I
talking
wouldn't
about that.
disagree with you that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came back to the things we talked about in terms of priority, the others maybe we thought were higher. It's there,
Yeah, okay.
and it just talk them out of there. If they have no material effect, don't penalise them, but do your best then at the next stoppages to keep reminding them of the fact to come to the back foot. And if you are able to at the time, to talk them out of there. As soon as they have material effect, penalise them.
Yeah, because quite often the scrum half will pick and step behind the
Right.
pillar and chip over.
That's exactly
Yeah, that's
it.
right. That's what it's done.
So you got